Imagine a small family farm on the edge of a drought-prone region. For generations, they've fought against the elements, watching their crops wither year after year. Then, genetic engineering steps in like a modern, day-night in shining armor. Scientists modify the crops to be more drought-resistant. Suddenly, that farm can thrive again, feeding not just their own family, but the whole community. Genetic engineering in agriculture isn't some cold, heartless experiment. It's a tool, like a well-crafted pen in the hands of a storyteller. It allows us to write a new chapter in the story of food production. We can reduce the use of harmful pesticides by creating pest-resistant crops. That's like giving Mother Nature a helping hand, not a slap in the face. Statistics show that genetically engineered crops can increase yields significantly. But it's not just about numbers. It's about the millions of people around the world who go to bed hungry every night. Genetic engineering gives us the power to turn that situation around, to ensure that every child has a plate of nutritious food. So, how can it not be ethically acceptable?
While I appreciate the vision of a family farm thriving through genetic engineering, we must not overlook the ethical implications that come with it. The very act of modifying crops changes their fundamental nature and has potential consequences that we are only beginning to understand. First, consider biodiversity. The reliance on genetically engineered crops can lead to a monoculture, reducing the variety of plants and ecosystems around us. This not only makes us vulnerable to pests and diseases but also threatens the intricate balances of nature that we've relied on for centuries. Second, there are the economic impacts. Small farmers can find themselves at the mercy of big biotech companies. When they become dependent on patented seeds, they may lose their independence and be forced to adapt to the demands of corporate interests rather than their own needs or traditional practices. Finally, there's the matter of transparency. Many consumers are concerned about the long-term health effects of consuming genetically modified organisms. Ethical considerations include the right of individuals to know what they're eating and to make informed choices. While genetic engineering might present immediate solutions, we must tread carefully. We can't sacrifice the ethical principles of sustainability, equity, and transparency for short-term gains. The stakes are too high.
You paint a bleak picture, but let's look at these concerns through a different lens. Biodiversity isn't lost, it's enhanced. Genetic engineering allows us to create crops that can thrive in harsh conditions where traditional varieties would fail. It's like adding new colors to an artist's palette, expanding the range of what's possible. These new crops can coexist with others, opening up new ecological niches. As for small farmers and big biotech companies, it's not a one-way street. Think of it as a partnership, like a duet in a beautiful song. Biotech companies provide resources and innovation, and farmers bring their land and expertise. There are also initiatives in place to ensure that farmers aren't exploited, such as licensing agreements that protect their rights. Transparency is indeed crucial. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room so consumers can see clearly. There are already regulations in many places requiring clear labeling of genetically engineered products. This gives consumers the power to make informed choices, just as they should. Genetic engineering in agriculture isn't about short-term gains. It's a long-term investment in our future, ensuring food security and a healthier planet. We can't let unfounded fear stop us from embracing a technology that has the potential to write a happier ending to the story of human survival.
I appreciate your optimistic view of genetic engineering, but it's essential to dig deeper into these analogies. While you liken genetic engineering to enhancing an artist's palette, we must recognize that introducing new colors can sometimes overshadow the existing beauty. The manipulation of crops can alter ecosystems in ways we can't fully predict. For example, introducing drought-resistant varieties might inadvertently outcompete local plants, disrupting the delicate balance that makes our agriculture resilient. Regarding partnerships between farmers and biotech companies, let's not forget that these relationships can turn into power imbalances. While some initiatives aim to protect farmers, the reality is that many smallholders face enormous pressure from corporations. It can be a struggle to navigate licensing agreements and not become trapped in a cycle of debt and dependency on proprietary seeds. As for transparency, while current regulations are a step in the right direction, they aren't universal. In many places, consumers still lack sufficient information about what they're consuming. People deserve to make choices based on comprehensive knowledge, not just partial truths or labeling that can be misleading. Finally, framing genetic engineering as the ultimate solution to food security oversimplifies a complex issue. True sustainability comes from diverse agricultural practices that respect the environment and cultural traditions. Let's not lose sight of the bigger picture by solely relying on technology. Ethical food production must encompass stewardship of our resources, social equity, and respect for nature in harmony. We owe it to future generations to consider if genetic engineering aligns with these principles.
Your concerns are valid, but let's take a closer look at this. You say new crops can overshadow existing ones, but think of it as a symphony. Each instrument has its place, and new genetic, engineered crops can play a complementary role. We're not erasing the old, we're adding new notes to create a more harmonious sound. Scientists are constantly researching to ensure these crops fit well into existing ecosystems, not disrupt them. The power imbalance between farmers and biotech companies is a bump in the road, not a dead end. It's like a rocky part of a journey that we can smooth out. Governments and international organizations are working on policies to make these partnerships fairer. We can't throw out the whole concept because of a few bad apples. Transparency is a work in progress. It's like building a bridge. We're laying the foundation and adding more planks every day. As technology advances, it will be easier to provide consumers with all the information they need. And just as we trust chefs to use safe ingredients in restaurants, we can trust that proper regulations will ensure the safety of genetically engineered food. Food security is a complex puzzle, and genetic engineering is a crucial piece. It doesn't replace traditional practices, it enhances them. It's like having a multi-tool in a survival kit. We need all the tools at our disposal to feed a growing global population. Genetic engineering aligns with ethical principles by providing more food, reducing environmental impact, and respecting the rights of both farmers and consumers. We can't afford to ignore it.
I appreciate your metaphor about a symphony, but let's consider that every new instrument added has the potential to change the composition altogether. The notion that genetic engineering can seamlessly integrate into existing ecosystems is an optimistic assumption that hasn't always played out in reality. We see examples of engineered crops escaping into the wild and affecting biodiversity, which is akin to out-of-tune instruments skewing the entire performance. As for the power dynamics between biotech companies and farmers, your view of it as a bump in the road overlooks the systemic issues that can manifest. Smoothing these bumps requires robust regulations and enforcement, which is often lacking, leading to a situation where small farmers are undermined by corporate interests. We must approach this issue with caution, not just hope for improvement. Transparency is indeed evolving like building a bridge, but it's crucial to ensure that the bridge is sturdy before crossing. Trusting regulations is fine in theory, but without rigorous oversight and accountability, consumers are left vulnerable. The reality is that their right to know what they consume is not guaranteed everywhere. Finally, while genetic engineering may enhance certain aspects of food production, it should not stand alone as a panacea for food security. Many traditional farming practices, which prioritize biodiversity and sustainability, have proven to be effective. It's about finding a balance, integrating innovative practices with traditional wisdom, rather than relying on one tool alone. In pursuing a future that prioritizes ethical principles, we need to be multifaceted in our approach, valuing diversity and resilience in both agriculture and society. Let's not sacrifice our ethical foundation for the allure of quick fixes. It's about creating a sustainable future not just for us but for the generations that follow.